Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to make this super quick. We're going to give you a little peek inside what Beachbody has done for us this far, why we got started, and kind of where we came from. So,
like 45 minutes quick.
yeah, no. So I'm going to tell my story quickly here. I'm a registered nurse by trade. Absolutely loved my job. I worked with new moms coming home from the hospital with their babes and just helped them transition from from the hospital to home. And so it was a, very rewarding job in a lot of ways and a lot of fun, but I wasn't really loving the person that I was becoming in that job and in that organization that I worked for. And there's a few reasons for that, but when I was presented with this coaching opportunity, it was about 2 years ago or 3 years ago now, and it was an absolute no. It was like, no way, I'm not selling stuff. I don't want anything to do with network marketing. I've got this career ahead of me. I'm doing really well.
We are way better than that.
Love taking care of people, not selling things. And what I quickly found out was, I didn't understand. There is no knowledge behind that decision that I was making to say no. So, fast forward 2 years, and I had been doing the Beachbody programs because it was what works for, I loved the gym, but after I had my son, I had no time to get out of the house and get to the gym, and exercise was a non-negotiable for me every single day because I knew that I was at risk for postpartum depression because I have such a family history of mental health disorders, and I know that I've had my own personal struggles. So I knew that I had to do everything that I could possibly do to help, prevent that from happening. And aside from that, I just knew that if I got up in the morning and I did some exercise, I was so much more patient as a mom. I was a happier wife when my husband came home, and I just felt so much more confident and loved the skin I was in, and that radiated to my relationships with others. So that's why exercise has been so important to me, and even more so, of course, when I started my own family. Many other reasons, but that's one big one. So I was doing the Beachbody programs. At that time we lived on an acreage about 30 minutes from a good gym, so it worked perfectly. I could do it while Jude was napping, and especially before Tanner got home. And and I got incredible results from T25. After I was pregnant, I was a little bit nervous, like, I don't know, my body has changed so much. I'm not comfortable in my skin because I don't know this body's so different. So I was nervous of how long it was going to take me to feel comfortable again, and did the T25 and was blown away by the results, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So fell in love with that. And my coach approached me and said, Amanda, you're doing everything. You're exercising, you love personal development, you're like my kind of girl, how come you don't join our community? And again, I was like, no, I'll check out the videos that you send, I'll check out the videos if you send me, but no. And I told Tanner that day, I was like, so I'm gonna check out these videos, but there is no way I'm signing up to be part of this community because I don't need them. I got my own thing going. I like my own routine. I don't need any community to be accountable to or whatever, which was complete BS because I never actually, finished a program from start to finish, according to plan. I would do a couple weeks and then fall off and miss a couple weeks and then get back on again, and it was all over the place, so it wasn't really consistent. And for my mental health, for my emotional health, and especially for that confidence, I knew that consistency was something I was missing. But again, I was like, I don't need any help, I got this. So Tanner went off to work. I told him I'm watching this thing, but I'm not signing up. He came home that day, and I was like, I'm signing up. I love it. And he just laughed. And but I it was like a light switch, because when I actually took the time to understand what was behind this, I saw that it involved personal, like daily personal development, pushing each other outside our comfort zones, encouraging each other, like a team effort, like everyone wanting each other to live their best life, and not just physically, not in just like the physical health, but so much of the mental health. And I knew that that was such a big part that was missing in my career. Is I felt like the way that I could help moms was, I could only say these very certain little things, and that's not what was in line with my values and what I believed and what worked for me. And it was such a big piece that was missing that I struggled with that all the time. I wanted to help women the way I felt like they wanted to be helped, and also the way that I knew I was so passionate about, and that helped me. So anyway, so that was a huge piece. And then of course, just like the flexibility of time when you have once you have a child, and the thought of not having that flexibility to be there for them when they absolutely need it, and just the extra stress of, if they're sick, I have to call in and try to juggle getting someone to cover me, or just being constrained by such strict time rules, that I was like, no, that doesn't work for me and my family. I want to be able to get up early in the morning and do some work before my son gets up, and then be able to do a little bit when he goes to bed, and have the entire day to be with him and to be with my family. So that was a huge part. I love to work. When I get passionate about something, I want to go, but I want it to be on my time. And this was something that fit with that very well too. So, and then of course, just the health and wellness. I know how effective these programs are. I've been, blown away, like program after program, being part of the community. I actually finished my first program from start to finish about a month after signing up. And that was a huge, triumph for me, just being able to say I finished that program from day 1 to day 90. And then we are 10 days away from being done our 80-day program, so the second program. So very excited about that. And that's just built my confidence in, I can start something and finish it confidently and feel good about that. So that's another thing I feel like a lot of people can benefit from, and I just love being that support. So the energy in the community is key. I thrive off of that every day, and how much it's pushed me personally, but also in our relationship, and who we are as a couple. I feel like we just keep growing, and there's so much more ahead of us. So that's my story, and there's so much more to it, but I'm going to try to keep this short, and I'll hand it off to you.
I became a coach about 4 months after Amanda did, and I was pretty resistant, was in my own routine, but realized that after we had a kid, I valued my time way more. So working out at home basically was the only way that's going to work for me to get in what's important to me for my own health, but more importantly to spend more time with my family. And what meant the most to me with being able to become a coach was starting to impact other dads that I work with, especially, but dads in general, especially my generation and even older. We tend to put our health to the wayside, because being a good provider is like the number one thing that we usually strive for as a husband and father, especially. That we just want to take care of our family and make sure everything is okay on that end, because we feel like that's kind of the number one. And unfortunately, our health takes the brunt of it. And that's where I feel that through these programs and through coaching, I can greatly help other dads do the same thing that I want to do, which is basically start to replace my income so I can work from home eventually and make, you know, spend more time with my family when especially in those years that are important to everyone, instead of trading my time for money and going to that job that I've been a contract welder for now 11 years, that I can see that the only way out is doing it till I'm 65, and that's not appealing. So I feel that coaching with Beachbody has given that opportunity to impact a lot of people, and especially dads. You know, I lost my brother when he was 19. I was 17, and that was 17 years ago. And so he was here for a short period that I feel like after Amanda and I took some personal development courses, I knew from then I wanted to impact a lot of people while I'm here. And I didn't know how I was going to do that. And then this Beachbody came up that at first I was like, network marketing, oh my God. But because I was naive and didn't know enough behind it, and now I feel like there's no way anyone's going to stop me from, you know, building this up with Amanda, that I'm going to help change a lot of people's lives with Amanda, that
Leave a legacy is really like, that's so important.
yeah, just make the biggest difference we can while we're here is what's so important. So anyways, that's why I became a coach.
So thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned for video number 2, when we'll talk a little bit more about the heart of this business and what we actually pour ourselves into day in and day out. So stay tuned.